Hi, Vernalis Nation. How is everybody doing? Happy Friday. I hope everybody's wrapping up soon on the East Coast, and I know West Coast folks have a few hours to go, but I wanted to give you a quick weekly update on how are we doing against our priorities every week as hopefully you're able to get this message. Number one, I wanted to first highlight the performance, which is really, really key because that's what gets us going from an organization perspective. Also wanted to share some thoughts of my visit to the Dallas region and some learnings from that, and wrap up. So first of all, let's start with the performance by our region. So this week's number one region performance is coming from Chicago region with the plus 0.41 market share growth. So John and team, again, week to week growth. That's great job. And some really, really good performance coming out of Chicago region. Second region is Birmingham and James Edward. Great job, James, with plus 0.21 share growth. And that region is starting to hum as well. And thirdly, we have a new region on the board, and I know it's long awaited, but well done. Wendy Romano and Orlando region came in number 3 this week's data with plus 0.19 market share growth. So let's look at some of the people who are underneath some of this amazing performance. Not surprised, Vanessa Case in the Jackson, Mississippi. Hi, Vanessa. Hope you're doing well. Great job with over 1 share point growth with 1.22% from the Birmingham region. Vanessa is. Logan from the Orlando region, 1.04% market share growth. Logan, great job. Brian Meddy from the Orlando region with actual market share of Tazistrex out of the narcotic market at 4.36%. So that's almost 5 share points. Brian, great job. And Brian also sits on our Field Leadership Council as well. The next numbers are just simply phenomenal, and that's Maya McGuire. Maya, great job. She has grown over 2 share points, and her actual market share is 9.38%. Boy, that is just some unbelievable numbers, Maya. So thank you, Maya, for all what you're doing. She's one of our Oklahoma ladies, as I call them, both Lindsay and Maya. But Maya, just great job. Next person, Greg Knox from the Dallas region. Hey, Greg, roll tide. 2.27% market share growth. That's just simply phenomenal numbers. From the California region comes Austin Taylor. When Austin took on the territory, it was actually 0% market share, so only one way to go, but up. And he is now taking that territory to over 1.99% market share. So the two share points already on the board. All right, so who's next? Not surprising, from the Houston region, from the Lubbock territory, Cole Stanford with actual market share of 6.56%. Cole, hope you're doing well. Great job again. And the next person is Lisa Conselman from the New Jersey region with a market share growth of over a half a share point. Great job, Lisa. Thank you for what you're doing. And from the Cleveland, Ohio Valley region, Cleveland territory, Justin Hopkins with 1.27% market share growth. Great job, Justin. And last but not least, Christina Moses from the Philly region with 0.98% market share growth, which is almost a share point growth. So team, you can see behind these numbers are some great, amazing people who are doing some amazing stuff. As I said, this doesn't happen by itself. These folks provide me inspiration. Hopefully they provide you all the inspiration to have this kind of growth coming out from every territory. And I would love to see some other names popping up every week. So great job to the regions and to these folks. And I also wanted to share some thoughts with you from my Dallas visit this past week. I spent time with Donita, Patrick, Gabe, and Juan, some big heavy hitters from the Dallas region, and we had some phenomenal couple of days in the field, seeing some Decile 10 to 8 customers that are about to go crazy on us. So this will be great to see what we have caused collectively over the last couple of days. So number one learning from that field was Decile 10 customers. And these Decile 10 customers are really, really important to our success. And some of these physicians can have up to 8 nurse practitioners or PAs in the support staff who are actually making the prescribing decisions, but the scripts get lumped under the Decile 10 physicians. So let's make sure that we know who those nurse practitioner and PAs are under these decile 10 customers. And that was a collective learning that I shared with the RSDs as well. So let's make sure that we know who those people are, and we're calling on them even if they're not our targets, yeah? And we'll make them targets as you guys add them to our call plan. So make sure decile 10 office is total office call with nurse practitioners and PAs. Secondly, what I did with some of these folks was I actually had some ICVA boards, physical boards, that I was able to get some feedback from your customers. These are decile 10 customers. And to my surprise, I asked them to pick which boards resonated with them in terms of messages the best, and then why. So number one key takeaway was the ICVA opening page with the patient coughing was the most selected board in terms of its importance and in terms of its impact, because it represented the patient and the key messages were all on there from a physician's perspective. So let's make sure that when we are having a clinical conversation, we're using that board. Secondly, the second board that they picked that was really key was the competitive closing board, because Tuzistraxar was compared on certain attributes to Tusionex, Cheritussin, and codeine promethazine, and physicians were like, this is what I want to see because these attributes are relevant and this is how I make my choices. So let's make sure that we're leveraging our competitive close ICVA page with our customers and engaging them in that conversation. So those were some really interesting feedback from these customers that I was able to share back, and some of our, as I said, Danita and Patrick and some of these guys were able to see how I was presenting those ICVA boards with some of those customers, and we got some good engagement time with these customers as well. And thirdly, one of the key things that I saw in the Dallas region, and I'm sure you guys are already executing on, is the MMIT form track, leaving that behind in every office to ensure that all of our physicians knew which plan Tuzistraxar was covered on and could be written for, and that was really key in terms of reminding our customers which commercial plans that Tuzistraxar is available on. So great couple of days in Dallas. Thank you, team, for having me, hosting me. I know when I come out, it can create all sorts of challenges for you, but I appreciate you taking me to your customers, and I'm still awaiting invites from other regions. And if you guys invite me, then I'll definitely come out, and we'll be seeing you soon. With that, have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we will get back at it next Monday. Thank you, everybody.